Are you trying to get career or small business clarity for your goals, dreams, and aspirations? Welcome to part two of Getting Career and Small Business Clarity. I have a few more tips, questions, and reflections for you to help you to discover the items that you need to work through, figure out, and confirm to move forward with being clear in your career and small business. Careers and small businesses that are really fulfilling, happy, making the money that you want to make, those things don't happen by accident. Lots of personal leadership is required. And so, in part one and right now, part two of getting career clarity, I want to encourage you to take personal leadership and personal accountability to doing the things and doing the work, working through some of the reflections that are needed so that you can have the fulfilling career and small business that you deserve and desire. So let's get started. The first question or reflection that I want you to think about is I want you to tap into your network in a really deep, meaningful, intentional way. And so a lot of times we hear lots of information about it's all about networking, it's all about who you know. But that is only true to the degree that you are able to share very specifically with your network about what it is you're looking to do, what type of work, perhaps what type of company, what type of small business you're looking to start. And so before you tap deep into your network, you must be really clear on what it is you want to do. Otherwise, it's really difficult for people to be able to help you. And so as you begin to think about your network, you can write down, maybe some key, well connected people, people that you have easy access to. Plan some meetings with those people, maybe coffee chats, or if you need to do it virtually via Skype or FaceTime, go ahead and set that time up. I would say 30 minutes, no more than 45 minutes. Most people are really busy. Be very intentional. Have your 3 or 4 questions ready to go before you jump on a call or go into your coffee chat with your network person. And during that time with that person, you want to share what it is that you're trying to do. And so if I were to meet with someone, I would tell them that I'm a business coach and I am seeking to work with people who are motivated, ambitious, but they may feel stuck, unclear, not supported, or afraid to elevate in their career or small business. Do you happen to know anybody that sounds like that you can refer me to or connect me to? And because I have said it really clear, they can immediately say, you know what? My girlfriend and I were just talking about something similar. She wants to start a small business. She doesn't know where to get started. And then in that way, because I've been really clear about what it is I can do and I'm looking to do, it's really easy for the person in my network to connect me to other people. So tap into your network deeply, meaningfully, intentionally, and with clarity. The next thing I want you to do is think about think about pursuing a side business. In that, in our first video, we talked a little bit about what are your strengths. We also talked about what motivates you, what energizes you, what excites you. And so some of that may not be possible in your 9 to 5. And so when I say consider starting a side hustle, a side gig, or a small business, I'm not necessarily saying go into entrepreneurship full time. But what I am suggesting is for you to just consider, is would starting a side hustle or a small business on the side, Would that help you in the fulfillment that you're seeking? Would that help you to work more in alignment with where you are with your values and your boundaries and your strengths? And so you go to your 9 to 5 every day, and you do what you need to do there. And actually, what happens is if you have sort of this small business that you're working in on the side, it actually can help you to feel a little bit better about your 9 to 5 that may not at this current time be, sort of filling up your tank, helping you to feel fulfilled, aligned, and energized. But the fact that you have something on the side to look forward to, perhaps you're thinking about it throughout the day, you actually can have a little bit more of a better experience at work. Okay, and so just something for you to consider. Um, and then as you begin to think about starting a side business or starting a small business, that's a whole different deep conversation. And I'm certainly available to help you get started. Okay, but just in the meantime, would something like a side business be something that you can do, and will it help you to work in more full alignment, in full clarity? Will it help you to be fulfilled and energized? Next, I'd like for you to think about what skills do you really want to use on a daily basis? What skills do you really want to use on a daily basis? And so we all know, whether we're working in a 9 to 5 or even in our small business, there are components to both of those that require us to do things that are not our favorite things to do. They're just things that we have to do. What I'm asking you to think about is, what are those skills that if you could only use those skills all day, every day, what are they? And jot those down. And so this kind of goes with some of the questions from part one of getting career clarity in terms of defining your strengths. But now we're really talking about your skills. And so, what skills do you really want to use on a daily basis? And alongside that, what responsibilities do you really want to have? And again, a lot of times in our 9 to 5 or in our small business, we have tons of responsibilities that we must take care of every day, but they may or may not be our favorite things. And so the goal is to really look for opportunities, to get into opportunities that have as many, or that are using as many of our strengths, as many of our skills, and as many of the responsibilities that we're really looking to use. And so we may not have 100% of all of those things in any position or small business, but the goal is to really get very clear on what those things are, and so that as we begin to career search or move around in a company or start a small business or make adjustments in our small business, we make those with intentionality based on these clarity exercises. And so we get as close of a match as possible. Okay? The other thing I want you to think about is, in detail, what growth opportunities or flexibility are you really after? And so again, are you really looking for space to grow professionally? So if you are in a 9 to 5, is it really important for where you work, whether it's your manager, department, or the organization that you're in? Is it really important to you to have growth opportunities, that they offer professional development, that there's opportunity for, job shadowing and mentorship? So what types of growth or flexibility opportunities are really important to you? That also could be, working from home, the capability to be able to telecommute. Is that possible? Um, because if that's important to you, once you start to get clear on what's really important to you, if that's important to you, that gives you an additional clue as to what to look for when you're job searching or having conversations with your manager at your 9 to 5. And it goes along with a small business as well, and from maybe from a different perspective. So frequently, if we're talking about a small business, as a small business owner, what you want to do is to build in to your organization or build into your business things that support your employees in their growth and their flexibility, and any other opportunities that would help them to want to remain with your company. And so that would require having conversations with your employees, whether they are prospective employees or people that are already working on your team. And then lastly, and probably the most important part of getting clear on your career and small business goals and aspiration is you have to understand your why. Understanding your why will help you to prevent distraction, and it also help you to overcome doubt and fear when those things start to creep up. Because when you start to work on getting really clear in your professional or small business, uh, what happens is your boundary you may have started and it was way out here, but now that you're getting clear, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller because you're getting really clear on what it is you really want to do, where your strengths are, what you're really looking for. And so, undoubtedly, you may begin to feel like, oh, well, now, where I want to go and what I want to do is about this big versus it was this big when I started. I'll never be able to find something that aligns with, this very small space. But understanding why all of those things are really important to you will serve as a very strong psychological anchor when doubt creeps in, when you get sort of fearful that, you have made this well defined list about what type of career you want, what type of small business you want. And so now, as you march forth to put those things into play, it may feel a little bit daunting. But understanding your why increases your feeling of satisfaction, happiness, fulfillment, and really it also helps you to have sort of a sense of a challenge as well, which goes back to when I had some discussion with you about what motivates and energizes you. Challenges do just that for many people. So if you don't care enough about what you're doing right now in your career or your small business, it's likely due to not having a fully thought out why. So a really good indicator that your why isn't really fully thought out or understood by yourself is if you're sort of showing up to work every day, in your 9 to 5 or even in your own small business, and you're kind of like a little sleep on the inside, very likely it's because you have lost sight of why you're doing what you're doing and how did you get there. And so the whole goal of these 2 videos is to really to get you out of that. And so, my goal for everyone is to really wake up, show up in your workspace or your small business every day, fulfilled, motivated, and energized. Every day won't be easy, but if you're in a clear space, if you're in full alignment, if you're using as many strengths as possible, as many of your skills as possible. If you are, have made decisions based on your values, then you're more likely to be able to handle those challenges as they come up in your 9 to 5 or your small business. So there you have it, the final tips on helping you to gain career or small business clarity. I'm Andrea, CEO of Elite Leadership Coaching by Andrea. I would love to know what your thoughts are, what came up for you, what type of reflections did you come up with in the comments to this video. I love to hear from people. It actually helps me with content. It helps me to get better. I would also love if you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video. All of those things are greatly appreciated. And so until next time, thank you.